Let's start with the fact that the world of aviation is full of wonderful planes and helicopters, experienced pilots, and dizzying maneuvers. And while these machines defy gravity and reach new heights, we can enjoy a selection of videos with them. I always wondered if every aviation pilot knows how to perform such difficult stunts, or if it's just someone showing off. Sometimes pilots can see not only the sky, but also the work of their comrades in it. Just take a look at how smoothly they fly. Only an experienced airplane pilot can perform such an acrobatic trick as starting from a helipad. This is unbelievable. These planes seem to be drawing colored crayons across the sky. What a beautiful sight! This is just an ordinary day in Brisbane, Australia. This pilot maneuvers a huge airliner between skyscrapers. It's scary to imagine what'll happen if he deviates a little more to the right or left, but fortunately, the real Top Gun is at the helm. It seems that this helicopter has lost its own fireworks. While we're bumping into furniture in an apartment we've known for years, this pilot at an air show in the United Arab Emirates easily maneuvers between obstacles. This is what the launch of the SpaceX rocket from the northern tip of Cape Canaveral in Florida looks like. It looks incredible up close. Flying through fireworks is an epic sight, especially from the cockpit. Extinguishing a forest fire from a helicopter is the fastest way to fight the flames. Just imagine the payload capacity of this helicopter if it carries the liner like that. This is the process of refueling the aircraft in the air. Now I think I've seen everything. Fighter pilots are playing tic-tac-toe in the sky, and why not? Ah, that was unexpected. What an original way of pruning trees. However, the speed is amazing. For some people, the day begins not with coffee, but with a parachute jump. Would you dare to do the same? The Boeing pilot had to go for a second landing attempt to avoid colliding with another aircraft on the runway when it suddenly stopped.
GPS 2974 heavy, go around, climb, maintain 3000, fly runway heading. Coming down the runway, turn right at echo, remain in frequency. Are you able to taxi back, or do you need to stop for a while? We can taxi back.
It seemed that these planes were about to collide. I'm glad they have everything checked out to the centimeter, but it was creepy to watch. Even such a slight destabilization of the aircraft could have led to an accident, but thanks to the skill of the pilot, everything was solved. This deer almost crashed right into the propeller. I don't even want to think about how it could have ended.
Oh, Jesus.
With such air currents that this helicopter creates, this woman with a bicycle could easily be lifted into the air. While training Marines in conditions close to combat, one needed to get out of the cabin of the helicopter, which turned out to be flooded. Do you think they'll cope with the task? This is some real magic outside of Hogwarts. I can't explain it any other way. What about you? This Canadian airliner had an accident and was forced to make an emergency landing. Now, with the help of a helicopter, it'll be taken to a safe place. The pilot lands the plane in a storm. I can't even imagine the level of his skills. It seems that someone should not brag so much about their pilot skills. This girl bought 3 seats in economy class and decided to turn them into business with a roll of film, but for some reason, the flight attendant was not happy about it. It seems that the plane is hanging in the air without moving, but in fact, this is an optical illusion, which is created due to the fact that the car is moving toward the airliner at a high speed. Landing an airliner on an icy runway is a real quest for a pilot. It seems that this plane is going to Silent Hill. These flares resemble a hand reaching for the ground. What a mind-blowing sight! Was it a helicopter crash test or shooting some kind of movie? Write in the comments what you think is happening here. This teamwork has been done at an incredibly high level. This is an inflatable boat that can fly. What a cute sight! During the landing, the jet fighter almost hit the viewer. I wouldn't want to be in his place. While approaching the airport, the plane was struck by lightning. Yeah, it's better to look at this from the ground, not from the cabin. It's always a pleasure to watch the work of professionals. This group of people helps the glider gain speed and take off. Well done!
O kurwa. No to tak.
It seems that this pilot has a black belt in piloting skills.
Og så et såkalt flexi-euro, håndring med turbinfyr, veldig sjeldent å se.
Aircrew members often say that there is something unimaginably beautiful about flying, no matter how cloudy the weather is. It's always sunny above the clouds. This excavator looks like a toy. How big is this helicopter?
To be honest, I'm speechless after witnessing it. What about you?
Your carriage is ready. What you're seeing now is a training fight between 2 fighters. In order not to be shot down, one of them fires flares. Not every pilot can make so many turns and still not lose control. Landing a helicopter on an aircraft carrier in a storm is something really hard and complicated. They fly so close to each other that it's scary to watch. These guys have nerves of steel or something else. It's not just people who get tired after a hard day's work. This World War II aircraft decided to take a break and plunge into the sea. We're not judging you, you poor thing. This is the evacuation of people by helicopter from the top of the mountain. Just 100 years ago, it was fantastic. Two pilots decided to switch planes in the air. To do this, they jumped out with parachutes to get into each other's cabins later. One pilot was able to complete the maneuver, the other just successfully ejected, and the plane crashed to the ground. It should have been better to attach those umbrellas. These are the real wonders of pyrotechnics. Would you like to see it live? It's like huge angels flying over the earth. It seems that this bird has chosen too strong an opponent for itself. What do you think? The Beluga Airbus has such a peculiar streamlined design for a reason. It is designed to transport super heavy loads over long distances. What an incredible maneuver! This is what precisely calculated takeoff and landing of two planes on the same lane look like. What a perfectly coordinated work of the pilots. Just take a look at how elegantly this fighter belonging to the British Air Force takes off and soars in the air. When you need to put out a fire and there's no time for long flights, you have to take water even in the pool. I don't think the owners were against it. This is how the evacuation of a person from the sea takes place. The helicopter pilot flew so close to the slope that he caused an avalanche at the ski resort. One of the most unique airfields is located in Antarctica. The runway here is not covered with concrete, but with ice and snow.
Before watching similar videos, it would be great to buy some sedative pills. One needs nerves of steel here.
This is what the military's delivery service looks like. I've never seen so many parachutists in one place. This Boeing is so heavy that it could hardly accelerate to the end of the runway. The vertical landing of the fighter allows it to land in a small area. Sometimes it's very important. It seems that the passenger is not too pleased with such an attitude towards himself. This pilot controls his monoplane with more confidence than I choose pizza for dinner. If you know how to make the shutter speed of the camera match the speed of rotation of the propellers of the aircraft, you can create the illusion that they are not moving. Looking at such a level of power, you involuntarily feel respect for it. It looks funny from the outside until you think about how people feel in the cockpit.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, this is not a scene from a post-apocalyptic movie, but a real video of a fire extinguishing. This is a real flight attendant, an athlete, and just a beauty. No, this helicopter does not lift with the help of an anti-gravity engine with the propeller turned off. This is just another optical illusion. These fighter jets are escorting a civilian Airbus. This is a demonstration flight, but this is how heads of state can travel. Not every pilot can make such a soft landing. It turns out that Santa Claus respects not only magic, but also technological progress. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet and haven't liked this video, then here's a sign that it's time to do it. This is how the Army practices the skill of descending from a helicopter into a boat. This is the case when you were asked to work overtime on a Sunday evening. In order for passengers to reach their destination on time, pilots are forced to take risks and take planes into the sky, even in adverse weather. They are real heroes. This happened at an air show in Iceland. I wonder why he dumped the car. The plane was trying to land in a very strong crosswind and almost went into a steep dive. It's good that everything went well. The helicopter took off so neatly that it seemed to me that it did not even affect the snow cover of the mountain. The helicopter caught fire right in the air, but the pilot quickly got his bearings and found a good place to land. This plane went into a tailspin while falling down from the sky. It takes my breath away. Well, one could have been more careful with these toilets. I hope that people were not inside them. And yet the airplane is one of the most ingenious inventions of mankind. Do you agree?
Support vehicles in the vicinity of the Harpers on Are you listening out?
The military transport helicopter drops excess cargo into the lake. Aerial acrobatics is intended only for the best of the best. It takes one's breath away in some moments. These are the Blue Angels. They are the navigation aerobatics group of the naval forces of the USA. If necessary, its aircraft can be prepared to participate in combat operations in 72 hours. It wasn't the smoothest landing, but without a parachute it would have been even worse. It is one of the most modern military aircraft in the world, and it looks like it belongs to aliens or Darth Vader. Boeing 7677 started for the first time after the engine was replaced, so here the smoke and flame are explained by technical necessity. This strange sound was made by an F-18 when firing. When a burning plane lands, there is no time to think. Such a fire truck must be ready 24 hours a day. I hope all airports around the world understand this. Landing an airplane in fog is always fraught with a lot of difficulties, but the more experienced the pilot, the more likely it is that everything will be as it should be. On a scale of 0 to 10, what did you think was the surprise of the drivers on the highway when they saw this military helicopter? This helicopter was part of an aviation group that was preparing for Romania's Air Forces Day when it began to lose altitude. This is a demonstration of aerobatics at an air show. Have you ever been to such an event? Share your impressions about it in the comments below. This Boeing 737 was caught in strong winds while taking off at Birmingham Airport, but fortunately, this did not prevent it from starting the flight. As they say everyone has their own flaws, let's hope that the luggage will still reach its destination. That's how a fire helicopter dumps water and replenishes its reserves. This plane looks like it broke free from a Disney cartoon. Pilot training should start early. Black airplanes are a real form of art. What a restrained elegance. How to transform from a girl to a grandmother and back in 3 seconds. Changing containers. I wonder what this helicopter's carrying. Do you have any assumptions? The pilot was clearly impatient to repeat the tricks from flight school in real life. So far, he's doing well. This plane is trying to land in very strong winds. The plane lands at Los Angeles Airport so low that you can say hello to the passengers.
If you haven't liked this episode yet, now is the best time to do it.
The Boeing 757 suffered an engine failure during takeoff, followed by a fire. It's great that it hadn't happened over the ocean. Is a dirt runway something new in aviation? Who knows? Have you ever seen the process of saving a horse with the help of a helicopter? I have only one question: how did it get there in the first place? You definitely don't expect to see such a passenger on board a passenger airliner. As you can see, it behaves very calmly. This is a slow motion video of an inclined rotor. The smoke rings are even cooler than those of a master of vaping tricks. This is an F-22 fighter jet at an air show in Belgium. It seems to me that the laws of physics have no power over airplanes. Flying, shooting, and landing, and all this in 1 minute, like we're watching a Hollywood blockbuster. Is it just me, or does this helicopter really look like a mixer? These are the most beautiful planes landing in foggy Amsterdam. What a steep turn. A plane flying off into the sunset sky always looks romantic. The fighter is flying so fast that a cloud of steam has formed around it. What an amazing sight! The pilot lost control of the aircraft immediately after landing, but everything worked out.
It was so cool! It's hard to comprehend how this is even possible.
The people on the beach were definitely not prepared for the fact that an F-18 fighter jet would break the sound barrier directly above their heads. The humid air and high pressure formed such circles around the tilt rotor as if a ribbon had become entangled in the propeller. The pilot did not calculate the landing trajectory well, and here is the result. Was the person who filmed this really lying at the end of the runway?
I can't see it.
Taking off in the evening is a special pleasure because the whole field is sparkling with lights. What a smooth landing. This is the process of extinguishing a real fire with the help of aviation. It's scary and beautiful. As you can see, even in the mountains, there are now special landing pads for airplanes. One needs some skills to be able to land elegantly. The most convenient way to remove snow from a roof of this shape is with the help of a helicopter. So what? What a landing! What you see on the screen now is not only beautiful but also difficult. Constantly flowing water creates air currents that can destabilize a helicopter, and therefore controlling it requires tremendous skills. It looks like the plane decided to drink water. If we forget about jokes, I hope no one got hurt. Unfortunately, an airplane crash at an air show is not uncommon.
Don't forget to share the most impressive moment of this episode in the comments below. See you soon.